financial problems, elder law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by Thav Gross. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Hi, welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic is a carryover from the last session. Don't make these mistakes, part 2. Pat Simasko, good to have you back.
Thanks for having me.
From Simasko Law. Jeffrey Kirshner, Kirshner Law.
Always a pleasure.
Workers' Comp, Social Security Disability and SSI expert.
All kinds of disability.
Pat, Elder Law expert. Brian's out this week. We're going to tackle Don't Make These Mistakes, part 2. Let's just get right into it right off the bat. Here's number 1. I don't need to do any estate planning because I don't have any significant assets.
You know, let me just jump in on that because I like to bring some real life to it. And this was the phone message I had last night. This lady called me. My husband just died. I have 11 children. 9 of them are minors on Medicaid.
Oh my God.
My one adult child is 21 years old with Down syndrome, and I had one that passed away. And the only asset that he had was a life insurance policy. So there was no assets during their life to think about no estate planning. But when he passed away and Mom received this money from a life insurance policy and a GoFundMe page, it can cut off all of her Medicaid benefits. And it can cut off her adult child Social Security benefits. So that was a huge mistake. And every question that always is the first question that people come in and see us is always the same one. What do I do now, right? And the answer is, boy, I wish I could have got you before it was too late.
Absolutely.
Right? So that was something that we got a lot of. Just to put that in
perspective, had they seen Pat ahead of time, you would have had that insurance going into an irrevocable trust.
Yeah, or a special needs
trust for the Down's child.
Even for the wife, yeah.
And that way, the money from Medicaid to help support them with 11 kids and everything else going on. My God, so
that's another perspective. As you're driving to work today and say, oh my God, that guy in front of me is a jerk. He just caught me out. Think about this poor lady that's got 11 kids now trying to take care of them and worrying about how the food's going to be on the table next week. It sort of puts it in perspective.
And if she happens to be in front of you and she's going slow off the light because she's got so much to think about, don't get on her bumper and start waving your hands like, oh my God, I'm going to be 5 minutes late to the office.
Please.
Well, one issue that I think about here with regard to estate planning, when you say, I don't have any assets. Well, people that may not have assets but have children, what's going to happen if, God forbid, if you're the sole parent or if you have a spouse and you die at the same time? What's going to happen with the children?
You need a guardian designation in your will.
Can I jump in on that, just on that specific issue? Let's say Dad didn't die, now he's on disability. He gets Social Security disability because he can't work, and you can get it. What are the kids entitled to? Are they entitled to Social Security because of the parents not working?
Yeah, the kids certainly could. If the parents are disabled, kids are minor, then there are some benefits that would then go to the children, both with regard to some cash benefits as well as some medical benefits. Also, they should talk to the county because there could be some Medicaid. If they reach a certain threshold, there's other health insurance benefits that could flow through the children just based on the parents themselves receiving disability benefits.
Let me throw out a couple ones too in terms of the same concept, is that people often think that estate planning is about dying, but it's really about living. Your example, Pat, is perfect from the standpoint you need to take the action while you're alive to correct mistakes from happening upon death. And the other one is you need a durable power of attorney while you're alive, and you need a health care power of attorney.
That was the most important, because if he didn't die and the wife needed to file for Social Security
she could have acted
get acted to the bank account or apply for disability through work, if she doesn't have a power of attorney, so the answer is, everyone asks, Pat, when do I need my power of attorney done by? One answer, before I get sick.
Absolutely. So, and there's no reason that a power of attorney shouldn't be done at an early age. You can have a springing power or an immediate power. If you're in your 30s and you do a durable power for your spouse to act on your behalf, and you don't want to make it complete so that the spouse could go and empty out your bank account, you make it a springing power that says it only comes into play if in the opinion of two medical doctors, however you want to frame it. When you're in your 80s and one spouse is taking care of the other spouse, you typically want it to be an immediate power so you can take care of banking issues. When your kid's away at college, if you're handling his finances here, you want an immediate power. You're financing the kid anyway. You're controlling the money. You need a power because when your child's over 18, they're an adult. You can't act on their behalf without authority.
My two biggest pet peeves is, number one, they go to the lawyer and says, I need a financial power of attorney, and the lawyer gives them that. But he doesn't give them the medical power of attorney. You need both.
And then you end up in the hospital, and the medical power is critical because if you have it there, then you have the authority to tell the hospital, do not resuscitate, which is typically what people want. If you don't have that, if they don't have that authority, they're afraid, and then administration makes the decision whether to resuscitate or not, and they err on the side of not getting sued. They don't err on the side of compassion.
The other is that they only put one person down. I pick my husband to make my decisions, but they don't list any of the kids after it, and husband dies, there's no one on the list. So you need a list
document.
of one or two or three of them in an order to do it.
Right, it's a helpless situation because you think just because you're related that you have right to control over someone else's health care problem.
I can sign my husband's name better than he can sign his name.
Right.
Guess what you can't do?
I used to be able to sign my dad's name quite well when I was in junior high.
On the permission slip.
Yeah, but and the other point is when you have an estate plan, you have a trust, then you avoid the probate issue as well, which is a savings of cost and aggravation at a time that is aggravating. When you lose a loved one and you have to go through the estate process, getting the death certificate, going through the funeral, it's a pain in the butt.
And if
it's
you're trying
3 months of aggravation no matter what, but if you got to go through probate, it's 6 months of more expensive aggravation.
Yeah, and if you're trying to get Medicaid plans done and you have the judge's permission to do it, it's a complete nightmare sometimes. So that's why the financial power of attorney is so important, and you have to have the language in it that I need to protect the assets. Most power of attorneys don't have that language in them. Most
Bottom
you need
line
them
is,
updated.
estate plans are not that expensive. You need to have one. They're important documents. Don't leave home without it. We'll be back after the break.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Thav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Thav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your savings, and more. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Samasco Law wants you to know that laws are changing. Today, the average cost of nursing home care is $85,000 a year. With proper planning, we can help protect your life savings and get you the Medicaid and nursing home benefits you deserve.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Thav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP.
Ready for the next big mistake?
Bring it on.
Here it is. I'll just put my daughter's name on my house and my bank accounts, so when I die, they pass to her.
Don't do it. We had one right now that we had a great daughter. Daughter decides that she needs the money and starts pulling money out of mom's bank account. And it's hers to do it. And the daughter got really smart. Mom was getting older. The daughter turned it into online banking. So the mom's not getting the bank statements. The other kids aren't seeing the bank statements. And she got about 30 grand out of her mom.
You got 3 circumstances that can blow up on you when you do that. First of all, why do people do that? It's old school. Old school estate planning was you don't need a will, you don't need a trust. They didn't even think about durable powers of attorney and healthcare powers, and they'd say, just put your kid's name on your bank account. When you die, the kid ends up owning the account. Put your daughter on the deed, and then as she becomes a survivor,
sell the house.
you don't
All
go
assets,
through probate.
right. It's simple.
Child takes the money.
Yeah.
Child gets divorced. The other spouse's attorney goes after half the value of mom's house and bank account. And even the worst one, Brian's not here, but he's jumping up and down wherever he is.
Bankruptcy.
Daughter files bankruptcy. The trustee comes in and says, half that,
Assets.
I own that bank account. He goes after the whole bank account because the daughter had the right to the money. Daughter has half interest in the house. He wants to sell the house. You have to then get into a big fight with the trustee. You have to spend a lot of money fighting about the whole thing before you eventually win on mom's behalf, which you usually would. But you're going to end up spending a good chunk of the equity in that house fighting the trustee because the trustee doesn't do. Understand something. Nobody does the right thing anymore. Everybody does what they are allowed to do. And the trustee's job is to get money for the creditors. And don't think he really loves the creditors. The trustee, the more money he gets, the more money he gets in fees.
Right.
So there's motivation. There's motivation in the system that works against you.
Well,
So
it's not personal. It's just business.
Right.
It's
It's
just
just-
everyone is out
Right.
for themselves. Whether
That's
it be
America.
any of the family members, the creditors, they all want what they're entitled to. They take emotion out of the equation, even though they may be harming the family.
And here's the fourth one. Mom
I don't
died.
like that, by the way. But,
Mom
but
dies.
it is what it is.
Mom dies, daughter gets the bank account. What about the other 3 kids? And mom
Oh,
always said,
Daughter will take care of the other 3
I
kids.
trust them. And
yeah.
then they say,
Or-
no, thank you very much. It's my money.
What 3 siblings ever got along perfectly anyway?
Or
Think about
you've
it.
got some complications too with regard to the house. You put the daughter on the house. That mom and dad then get divorced, and that house is a marital asset. But the daughter's on the house. Where does the house come in?
Yeah.
Simple solution to avoid that problem is you do an estate plan.
Right.
It's that simple. The daughter taking the money, the daughter getting divorced, and it can be the son, and the filing of the bankruptcy. These things happen every day. This isn't the unusual. This isn't the unusual. And daughter taking the money, it didn't start out that way, but daughter ran into a problem, and she first takes $100, then $200. That's what happens. It's reality.
Well,
folks.
she thought that she would pay it back. They'll never know. I'll take the money. I'll use this collateral.
always gonna
and
pay it back.
And I'll pay it back, and that debt starts to grow and grow and grow.
Always going to pay it back because tomorrow's always going to bring a brighter day. Which
This
I
is-
like that attitude,
yeah.
but it never seems to happen when you're in that
We hear this all
situation.
the time, too, is that the daughter says, well, I talked to my parents about it, and they have it all set. And they have it all set because back in 1974, they took a trip to Disney, and they went to the lawyer down the street, and he did
4
a will
minutes
for them.
before they left.
Yeah. It's, so 30 years later, it's all set. No, that stuff is not.
It's not
it
all
needs
set.
to
You
be
should be looking
updated.
at your estate plan every 5 years just
Yeah,
to make
you
sure
should.
things are up to date.
Yeah.
Here's the next one. I'm a widow. My house is underwater, but I can make the payments, and I want to stay there until I die, so I'm not going to do anything. And here's the problem. The house is worth $50,000. The mortgage is $125,000. She's $75,000 underwater, and she's got $300,000 of cash in the bank. If mom dies, when mom dies, the bank's going to make a claim for that $75,000 that the house is underwater, the $300,000 now will, if it's still there, is going to become $225,000 for the kids to inherit. Mom's got to do something to solve that problem. Now, Mom can't short sell the house because the bank's not going to approve a short sale with $300,000 in the bank. But Pat, what can you do with that house?
Well, the first
not
thing,
with the house, what can you do with the money?
Well, the first thing that Mom's doing is she needs to leave the house because she has to go to assisted living, right? So she
That
says,
could happen.
yeah, that happens all the time. So what you do is you take the money, you put it into an asset preservation trust, so it's protected for Mom. It's protected. It helps get VA benefits for Mom, and you walk away from the house, and she doesn't owe it.
By putting it into the asset protection trust, it's an irrevocable trust going to the benefit of the kids, and then the kids will have it there to take care of Mom through their own integrity. But the benefit there is now Mom passes away. There is only one asset left in her estate, the underwater house. The bank gets the house, but they don't get any of the money.
And if the kids get sued, that asset preservation trust protects it from divorces and bankruptcies and lawsuits. You don't just put the money in the kid's name because all the problems we just talked about. You put it in the asset preservation trust, and it protects from those issues.
There's a good solution to that problem, but Mom, unless the kids point it out to Mom, Mom's not going to know about it.
True.
Okay.
And if someone points it out to the kids, because they won't know about it either.
Absolutely. That's why if you're watching the show, we're pointing it out to you. When I die, my assets go to my children, and they can do with the money whatever they please.
There you go. That's there you go.
That's okay. I mean, you can do that if you want, but what you have to realize is, are you okay if the kid files bankruptcy and the creditor gets your money? Are you okay if the kid gets divorced and the ex-spouse gets half of your money? And what if they're too irresponsible and they blow the money in the first month at the casino?
And there's one more.
Are you happy with that?
There's one more.
10 seconds. Give us the last one.
One more.
Put in the daughter's name. The daughter dies. It goes to her husband. The husband marries the stripper, and now the stripper's 6 kids get it.
That is the worst.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call Thav Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call Thav Gross today, 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you're approaching retirement and don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your investments, and your savings. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Putting a solid strategy in place with Samasco Law legally protects your assets as well as your wishes. Since a will doesn't cover you medically or financially, Samasco Law goes beyond ordinary asset management protection to safeguard everything you have.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Thav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem. Time for announcements. Want to remind our viewers to listen to us Tuesdays noon to 1 and 6 to 7 p.m. on Law and Reality Live. That's WCHB 1200 AM 99.9 FM. Thursdays from 3 to 4 p.m. with Cliff Russell on Law and Reality Now 9:10 a.m. We've got a couple seminars coming up. On Wednesday, March 15th from 6 to 7:30 p.m., estate plans are needed for the living. If you're alive, you better attend. We're going to go through the basics of estate planning. You need to cover life issues, not just death issues. Durable power of attorney, healthcare power of attorney. We're going to make sure your assets go where you want them to go and to avoid probate. All of our seminars are free. Sign up at lawandreality.com or thavgross.com or call 888-235-HELP. There'll also be a special offer on an estate plan for those attending, a super great offer, but you need to be there in order to take advantage of it. On Wednesday, April 1st, we have our next debt elimination seminar from 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m. It is called Debt Elimination is the Grand Slam of Finance. It's going to focus on all the methods we use to preserve future income for you and your family. It's not just so much about debt elimination as it is that's a stepping stone. You get rid of the debt, so instead of paying the credit card companies every month, you start putting that money away for savings for retirement, so that when you get to 65, 70, you're not living only on Social Security and buried in debt. Instead, your house is paid for, you have zero debt, and you've got cash in the bank to retire with. Sign up at lawandreality.com, thavgross.com. Attendees of that seminar get a free copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Again, that seminar is free, as all of them are. Don't forget to take advantage and sign up. I want to remind everyone that we offer free consultations at Thav Gross, whether it's debt issues, tax issues, estate planning issues, business issues, elder law issues with Pat, or disability issues with Jeff. Just go to our websites, lawandreality.com, thavgross.com, and request a free consult, or you can always call 888-235-HELP. Also, take a look at the websites. We've got free reports, business formations, loans and grants for small businesses in Detroit, Pat's Retiree's Guide to Social Security, and we also have How to Save Your Home with Regulation X, the Hidden Secrets. Now back to the show.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Thav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Thav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Thav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem. All right, back to where you left off, Pat, with the stripper.
Right. Okay.
I completely agree, but let me put it into a little different scenario that I see all the time.
Yeah.
Elderly parent, you have your parents. One passes away, your dad remarries. He remarries, and now you have a new stepmother.
Stepmom.
Okay, a step grandma. Okay. Step grandma talks him into changing his estate plan and puts the money into step grandma's name just before dad passes away.
Yeah, it's not even to that point, though.
Step grandma passes away, and all of the money goes to step grandma's kids, and dad's money goes to her kids, rather than to
that's
our
it,
kids.
because they think, oh, I ask them all the time, you second married, they've been married 2 years or 30 years. Second marriages, how do you want your stuff? I'm going to put everything in a joint trust or a joint bank account. And who dies first? Dads always die first. So now it's mom's money, stepmom's money. And when stepmom dies, the vast majority of the time it goes to her kids.
Yeah, she's not going to put it back to
Why?
you.
Because they don't talk to me anymore, or they wanted his shotgun at the funeral, or they were mean to me, or her kids start going, you never see those kids anymore. They don't deserve it. my kids
So
deserve
all
it more.
good intentions seem to fall the wayside.
Everyone thinks that if we do this joint will or a joint trust or a joint bank account, when dad dies, it goes to mom, and when mom dies, it goes to all the kids equally. When mom dies, it goes to whoever she wants it to
Mom's
go
in control
to.
at that point,
She
right.
owns it at that time. So one of the shows we have to do is Stepkids, what do you do to protect your inheritance?
We will put that on the block
Yeah.
because there are specific estate planning steps that need to be
And
taken.
then now you kick it
next
down.
one. Next one. Ready for the next?
Do it.
All right. I've got all of these medical issues, and they're weighing on me to the point where I can't work. But it's not like I've got, I'm not paralyzed so I can't work, but I've got depression, I've got arm problems, and I can't work. I'm assuming I can't get disability because I don't have one big thing, I got a bunch of little things.
Well, that's where you're wrong.
Ken's never wrong.
Ken's never wrong.
Well,
But you look
the
at
fictional person is wrong.
Sure. You look at the person in totality, and they may not have that herniated disc, or they may not have that fibromyalgia that's so elevated. But you take the person as a whole, and you take all of their limitations, whether it be physical, emotional, even side effects of medication, and you put that all together into the person. And if all of those things in combination knock you out of the box of being unable to work for 12 months or longer, we can be successful.
That sounds like a lot harder case. If I'm in that situation, do you want that kind of a case, or do you only want the easy, simple cases?
No, I
I'm
would
teasing
absolutely
you.
love that case.
Right.
You know,
There's a question I always was asked. The younger you are, is it harder to get Social Security disability? If you're closer to your retirement age of 62.
well, it is. Well, first of all, they look at you when you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, saying, "Come on, you can't work. You can't be a greeter somewhere. You can't be."
So it's not
a
your
corporate
job,
inspector."
it's any
Well,
job.
that's correct. Once you hit age 50, then at age 55 and age 60, there's regulations that come into play that make it a little bit easier. At 50, it makes it a little bit easier. 55, it lightens up, and at age 60, but even at those ages, it is a little bit difficult, and you still need somebody to be your advocate to argue for you.
Let me explain why it's very important for me. Because when you're getting a little bit older and they say, oh, gee whiz, well, I'm not going to file for Social Security because I'm 60 or 61. I'm just going to wait to 62 to collect Social Security. It's better
Huge
to
mistake.
get it because you get your full retirement benefits early.
Not just that, but I've had people that have come to see me that have
a good
gone out
point.
on the early Social Security, age 62, and we still are able to file a disability claim, get them on disability, and actually get that increase,
that-
get that
that
bump
extra
for a couple
benefit.
$100 because they are disabled. But it is a mistake to rely upon
It's
just
a
early.
25% increase. The other one that we have all the time is people think, well, mom's in the nursing home, we need 5 years to protect her money. If she has a disabled child, we can put 100% of the money in the disabled child's name, and it's immediately protected from mom's nursing home.
Bottom line is there's a lot of nuances to this whole process. The biggest mistake is assuming that you don't qualify, that you're not entitled, or that you can't do something just because it sounds complicated. It doesn't cost anything to go and get a free consultation with Jeff, with Pat, with Brian, with me to explore those issues. Have a great week. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality.